Okay, here we are at the bench. I thought I'd pop in just while I'm doing some weathering on the 135 scale Dragon Wagon. And I have opened up some of this pure pigment, which is in a raw umber, really dark raw umber. And I've also introduced into it just some, I guess this would be like a sandstone grout. This is just grout, tile grout, non-sanded, the real fine grout. And I just kept mixing it until I got sort of a reddish, sort of brownish hue, and I think that's looking good for soil. And I've just started sort of dusting it on the wheels and the tires. Just want to get like an overall dusting on them to sort of weather it all together and get a color balance between the pigments and the rust effect. So I've got rust effect kind of started, mud, grime, and rust effect started on one half, and there's one half of the gate started and the other half just with the base coat. So you can see it's making a big difference. It's starting to really come along. And then there's the pigments going under the tires. There's our wheels. I lost my zero, so I'm gonna have to replace my zero. I need a zero to number my storage cabinets on either side. So I think it's Tuesday, November 7th. So yeah, I think we've got all the tires on the cab. Got the weathering started on the top of the trailer. Get a general overall tone of dirt and grime on it. And yeah, I'm just sort of dusting this in, and I did use some of this for the floor in the cab. You can kind of get a look at that now. Right in there's kind of see the floor area where I've got some dirt and some grime, and I'll carry that on this side right here, just sort of dusting it in. I want to sort of make it just, you know, dirty where guys are getting in and out of the truck. I've worked and worked trucks for most of my younger life. Kind of get a good idea of what they sort of look like after a while. And yeah, I really like this pigment. Is really allowing me to kind of control how much dirt and dust I want. So yeah, it's the first time I used them a little bit on my 172 scale car, but not to this degree. This is I like this. I've got some pastels too that I guess I could break out later on if I want to, but I really like the effects I'm getting on the frame and underneath the frame, as far as I got rust and dirt and grime and stuff starting to show up. So yeah, I think I'll just keep carrying on with the wheels and get this all dusted out and grimed up how we want it, and then I can get started with the cab. Now I had actually forgotten that. Do I have my phone down here? I don't have my phone. Okay, so what inspired this was a picture of one of these trucks in a museum with this Pacific scheme, this sort of lighter color with a darker camo. But what I had not really noticed in the picture, hard to believe, but the way the picture's taken, it's kind of hard to really tell. But I'd forgotten that the whole top of this cab, from this point all the way around, is white on this. So I think I might do that. I think I'm going to lay these out. I'll pop these back in, all the covers back in, and just tack them in. I think I'm just going to mask this right off, this whole top area, and I'll just plug that up with something so I don't get any spray inside. And I think I'm going to paint this in the white. So I'll probably do that Boy, I don't know. I might get to that tomorrow if I can, and get this top painted out white, and that'll really make it dramatic. But I think once we get all the little doodads glued on it that break off, like our little mirrors and all of our little you know, appendages, all the little things that you don't want to put on. Once we get those on, I think it'll really start to pop, especially with that white roof, with some weathering and... Uh-oh, I'm off my paper. Look at me go. I'm out of control. I'll just keep this on top of the paper so I can pour it back into my cup. But, yeah, I think the use of the pigments on these tires is really starting to come together. So, I think we will push on with this for tonight. Get the rest of the wheels weathered. And get the rest of the rust and grime on this side of the trailer and underneath. And I think that will get us in pretty good shape for the final bits of the assembly that have to go on. There we go. So yeah, just a benchtop update with the 35 Dragon Wagon. And it's definitely making some progress. Gaining some experience with the pigments. So for now, that's the model student out to you in Utopia. And we'll probably check in again with you probably on Thursday and say hi, see what's going on out there, and show you how far we've gotten. Until then, we'll see you later. Cheers!